Hey David, it's Coach Benlin here. Just breaking down some of your swings from our last session. Just wanted to go over a couple of things that I'm seeing. I typed it all up on a document that I could also share with you. Hopefully, seeing it spelled out for you could help you as far as the terminology and some of the words that we're using here. Let me pull it up here. So I broke it down into a few improvements and then 5 adjustments I think we could make here. I'll walk through these to start, then we'll take a look at some of your swings on the video loop, and I'll show you a couple things that some guys in the MLB are doing um, that I think can help you visualize it. So the first thing, some of the things that I'm seeing, that are improving over the past few sessions are about your level swing. You're not trying to lift the ball. You have a decent bat path as you approach contact, which is great. It's going to help you to be a lot more productive, right? And not so many pop outs and things like that. The hand path, we're working on the path of the hands and avoiding loop, keeping your hands up, hands across the chest, not dropping below, popping balls up. And you're doing a great job seeing the ball. The more video I watch, I notice that you're tracking the ball for 60 feet 6 inches. There's not a lot of head movement. You're not bouncing around. You're seeing into the barrel, and your head's down at the point of contact, which is great stuff. You can't hit what you can't see, as we always say, and you're doing a great job seeing it and tracking it. As far as the adjustments, and we'll take a look at these while we look at the video loops. The first one says load. We want to talk about timing and power. It's going to be our terms going forward. Timing and power in our load. We want to make sure that we're generating power in the rear leg and the back hip as the ball's coming in, as we're tracking it. We want to build tension. Build up that torque as we're ready to release and throw our hips and our hands at the pitch. We want to make sure we're maintaining balance and rhythm in our load. And the videos that I'll show you at the end are some of the different types of loads that MLB guys are doing today. One of the major issues that we're going to look at is the bat wrap. We want to make sure that in your load, as your hands go back, that knob is pointing down towards the catcher's mitt, right? It's not getting a lazy top hand. The bat's not dropping, behind your head. So you have to unravel that bat, unwrap it before coming through the back of the zone. And I'll show you that in the video. You want that angle at a 45 degrees with the knob pointing towards the catcher before you get to that launch point, and make sure that both hands are working equally so that top hand isn't dropping down and the bat's going right, basically behind your back where your name is on the back of your jersey. Looking at the your front foot landing, we keep saying the terms, land closed, land closed. We're gonna make sure that front foot is staying at a 45 degree or below mark, not opening up, pointing your toes at the pitcher. If you open that up early, like we've gone over, everything's going to open up. That whole chain reaction up the front side, from the front foot to the front knee, the hip, the shoulder, the head's all going to open up, and you're going to have a lot of trouble covering the whole plate. And your hands are going to run into your pocket, and you're going to tend to be dead pull. So we definitely want to continue to watch that. Um, Related to that, staying closed with the whole body. I'll show you what I mean by flashlights in a second in the video. With your hips and your shoulders remaining closed as long as possible through the swing, so that you're not opening up early. The front foot landing is kind of the start of that, and we want to stay closed throughout as long as possible. And the last thing we'll look at, the fifth thing, is the hand path again. Right, we talk about throwing the frisbee with the bottom hand, letting our knob and our bottom hand lead the way through the zone, letting the bat lag behind and kind of delay, finishing the bottom hand through out in front and getting through contact, right? Extending through 3 baseballs, as we say. But I'll show you more of that as we get through the video loop here. And I know this is a lot of terminology and things like that, so I could send you this document, and any questions you have, you could email me and I'll get back to you to try to clarify as best as possible. Let me pull up some of the swings here. Here is we have one from earlier, and then here's our last one here. Let's take a look at this one first. This is from our last session. Let me just optimize my screen 1 second. And we'll take a look at these swings, and we'll look for some of those adjustments here. Okay, here we go. Before the swing even comes, I can tell you that you're working on your shoulder plane. I know we talked about it in the last video, and you're not as kind of dipped as you were earlier in these sessions. You're kind of a little more even, which is good. That front shoulder should be pointing down as you load, but that's a little more advanced. We'll bring that up in one of the next sessions as well. Let's take a look at the swings. I'll show you, I'll freeze it in a second. I'll show you that bat wrap that I think is a problem. The front foot, the path of that bottom hand as well. Just take a look first. Okay, so if I play this back, let's take a look at the front foot first. So let's watch how that front foot lands. Right now you're in a little bit of an open stance. You're not exactly even with your feet. Let's see how the front foot comes down. Here's your load. It's a quick one right there. That's about, a little more than 45 degrees on the front foot there. Not terrible, but as you can see at this point where I freezed it right here, you're going to have your knee opening up already, your front hips already flying open premature, and the front shoulder is all opening on that front side. We want to keep that front side closed as long as possible. I'll show you again right here. As you land, I'll draw on the screen 1 second here. See how this is almost pointed towards the pitcher? We want to make sure that this stays closed more. So I'll do it in a different color. We want to make sure this stays about 45 degrees or even closed fully. You want to land somewhere in this range here, not opening up, because now look straight up the chain. The knee is starting to open right here, right? The hip is getting ready to open a little early. You didn't even start your swing yet, and the hip's already flying open. This is going to be the next to go, which is ultimately connected to your head up here. That's all going to open straight down this front side. We want to keep this whole front side closed here. Okay, let me clear that, and we'll take a look at the swings. So definitely want to land with that front side closed and attempt to keep the front foot closed and attempt to keep the whole front side closed, the knee, the hip, all of that. Okay, next time we look through this, let's take a look at that bat wrap, right? The upper half. We'll watch your hands and where your bat ends up. Look right here. You see how your bat is almost hidden behind your head, behind your back? In order for that bat to come out, you have to unravel it all the way around. It's going to take longer. When we start seeing velocity, you're going to be a little bit behind. And I'll show you a better position of where your bat should start right here. As you get your hands back, and you do a great job of getting your hands back. I'll show you right here. Right there. See how your knob is pointed almost to the opposing dugout? We want this knob to be pointed downward, like this, towards the catcher's mitt. And then on the opposite side of that, the bat should be almost at a 45-degree angle here. If the bat's upright, making a 45-degree here, right? You're in a good place for launch position. As soon as those hips go, your bat's gonna drop right through the back of the zone, through out through the front, to the point of contact. But right now, if I'm gonna trace your bat where it is here, wrapping that bat, look at this, behind your head this way. We want to get that more up to here, right, at a 45-degree angle. And the best way I could kind of, try to get that to sink in is you see how this top hand right here, this top hand's a little lazy and it's letting that bat drop down. We want to make sure that both hands are carrying the burden here and keeping that bat at that angle. Okay, we'll continue to watch that as we go. Last couple things I want to look at here are watch the path of your bottom hand. Now your bottom hand should lead the way, pull the knob straight through out front, all the way out, almost to the RG on the banner before you run away. Now if I play it and I stop it, you see right there, see you fold it up? You didn't let that bottom hand go all the way out and extend. We talk about throwing the frisbee. I showed it in the last video, I believe. Getting that bottom hand all the way in front of the zone, extending both hands out in front, palm up, palm down before the swing goes away. Now you're all folded up. Let that swing finish. Pull that knob through all the way, get extended, and then finish out in front. So we talk about the frisbee, throwing the frisbee. Here it is again. From this launch position, it should finish all the way out in front. Right here, look at your hands are going down into the pocket, almost like even with your hip. You want a nice extended finish up and out. Okay? I could pull up some of your swings as well from the other session real quick. Let's see if any of these things. Look at your starting position. I noticed in this. See how you're more angled? Here, let me get this back to you before the pitch. Look at the difference in these two here. So I know we talked about shoulder play in the last video. Your front shoulder's pointing to the sky, and it's not a good place to be. In the load, the front shoulder wants to dip low and then open up, right? So you're definitely doing a better job there. I like the starting position in the left video, the more recent video, better. Um, so there's some improvement here. You're a lot more on your front foot here. You're staying back more now, which is good. See, on this video, you're all out on your front foot. Playing this one again. A little more balance. So we're making improvements here. Increasing. More reps will help. Let me show you the thing I really want to focus in on is the load. I'm going to show you a couple different videos here talking about the load. Let's take a look. Let me open this up. Here's one type of load. This is Fernando Tatis. He's a pick it up and put it down guy. Watch his front leg come up and down. Slow motion. Lifts that knee up. He's generating his back hip and that rear leg right there. See all that power he's generating? Then the front foot comes down. Hips and hands do the ball. It's a beautiful swing. Let me show you another one here. And it's really up to you. Whatever load you're comfortable with. There's plenty of types of loads. The next one is Ramon Laureano. Let's check out his load. Whatever one you're comfortable with. I want to show you a bunch of ones though. He's similar. He gets his foot up. It's kind of a knee pinch. Watch his knee pinch in to the belt buckle almost. And he comes down and comes forward. Just pick it up, put it down, guys. This is a knee pinch. Pinches in, gets in that back hip. Let me show you another one. Got two more, I think. And we could mess around with these and see which one you're more comfortable with. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. He's a toe tap and transfer guy. Watch this quick one. Tap and then transfers his weight. Quick toe tap, not too much movement. Toe tap right there, stays back, gets in the hip, and then transfers it forward. I want to make sure that we're doing a better job in your load of generating power while keeping the timing before your swing. Here's a little more simple one I like. This is Matt Chapman. He's just going to kind of come forward a little bit. That's it. Picks it up, drifts forward a little bit, generates power in the hips. All right, here again, slow motion, not too much. This is a simple one. I call this hover and hip. He's just hovering over the ground real quick with the front foot, getting into his hip, generating in that rear leg before coming through the ball. So in the next hitting session we could definitely look at different types of loads to make sure that you're, using, finding all the available power to translate into your swing. But real quick, just to review, and once again, I could send you this document if you need. Let me pull it up. We talked about generating timing and power in the load, avoiding the bat wrap, keeping that knob to the catcher's mitt, landing with the front foot closed in an attempt to stay closed. And we'll go over that term flashlights in the next section. It's about imagine having flashlights on both hips and both shoulders, and you want that to be flashing across to the other batter's box and staying in that direction, not turning those flashlights towards the pitcher too early. That's a drill that I'll show you in the next session. And then the hand path, right? Finishing with that bottom hand through the zone like you're throwing the Frisbee. And I'll get this sent over to you as well. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'll throw the contact information up right here. And I look forward to working with you again.